All right, good afternoon and welcome to One Lonely Farmer. We're going to be doing some work here on this differential for the 8120. And I'm going to show y'all what you need to do in order to do this correctly. ATF, cheap old ATF, doesn't matter, you know, red ATF. And before you put these clutch discs in, you soak them in automatic transmission fluid, okay? I know there's some people that say, oh, you probably don't have to do that, you know, but these are dry. And it's always a good idea with any clutch discs that you use to soak them up with automatic transmission fluid. You want them fully soaked up, because if you put them together dry, what happens to them is they chatter, and when you chatter these things, and I mean chatter, they will just, it'll strip the fabric, the coating right off. Because here, let me show you what I've got here. I want you to all understand that this is very important. So what they do is they bond like this fiberglass, or I don't think it's asbestos, but this brake material or clutch material is bonded to steel, and it has to have lubrication. If it's dry and there's pressure on it, which there's going to be pressure on it, not going to be a lot of pressure on it, but there's going to be pressure on it. When you turn this thing, even though it turns a little bit back and forth, it'll just chatter, and it'll delaminate the brake facing from the metal backing. You don't want to do that. And you can see here, you see the air bubbles coming up out of it? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. You see those air bubbles right there? So it's soaking that ATF right up. And that's what you want it to do. You want to soak them up. Because if you don't, it chatters and you're going to be right back to where you were before you started, much faster than you want to be. And it's kind of ironic. It's funny. I had that coated right over the top of those things, and it sucked it all up. Automatic transmission fluid has this, I think it's a metal, Mercon, right? Is that what they call it? This is type F, Proline type F. I think it's Mercon coated. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of got some kind of lubricant in it that stays in there. You know, when you take it out, of course, they're going to stick together. Now they won't chatter. They will actually very smoothly. Before they would just grip. They would just grip, and you would delaminate it. I was contemplating putting it together dry, and then, because a lot of people, they'll put them together dry. They'll put them together dry, and then fill the case with oil and call it a day. Well, the minute you turn that thing, if it's not wet, if it's not lubricated, you're delaminating it. So, yeah. So what do we got? We're going to do this guy here. To do this correctly, drop this guy in. There's a shim that I put in here. Probably going to have to take this apart a couple of times. I'm not really sure. And shim it. So it's one of the clutch discs, or one of the plates, and then a clutch disc. Right? Then another plate. Just like putting together a transmission. If you don't know, if you've never done this before, then you wouldn't know, but just like putting together a transmission. You know, I used to enjoy watching Western Truck and Tractor, or Grease Monkey 101. That's what he started out as, Grease Monkey 101. And he would just tear these transmissions apart and throw stuff all over the place, just whoo, whoo, whoo. Because he knew what went where and how it went. And, you know, and I can do that too, but I prefer to actually not. And then you take, this is your wear washer that goes between that and this guy, this pinion gear. Or yeah, pinion gear. And you got the spider gears. But that's the pinion gear. And then what you do is you just kind of work them back and forth until she's all the way down. Yeah, and I can actually turn it now. I put it in dry just to see what it would do. And obviously that worked out good. And the next thing to do is pretty simple. I'm going to go ahead and throw that one in there because I'm going to be doing this quite quite a bit. Now, I opted to not buy this pin. There was not any major wear on it. You can see that it's kind of shiny or whatever there. But to me, I figured, you know what? This isn't bad. It's not bad at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to lubricate this a little bit. It's always good to lubricate stuff. And it should just go right in. I have it cleaned up really good with starting fluid. And that is still going to give me a little bit of an ass ache, isn't it? Yeah. Don't be afraid to get things lubricated. Run it up in there. You want this thing to run in there smoothly on both sides because it's going to go in. Why won't that go in? She wants to be an asshole. Okay. Maybe I'm putting it in the wrong side, huh? Is that the case? There's no lip or anything on it. Well, I took it off with a hammer, so I guess I could put it back on with a hammer, right? Let me lube you up. What also works good is assembly lube, Lucas assembly lube. But being we're working with transmission kind of stuff, you know, you could call it a transmission. It is. What do we got here? Then we got Captain Spidey gears here. These things are like 130 bucks a piece, these little things. You gotta have all the bits and pieces, right? So if you don't know what you're doing, you know, don't be afraid. That's the biggest thing with rebuilding stuff like this. This thing, to rebuild this particular part, again, you're looking at a lot of money. I think you can get, I thought I saw somewhere that it's like, 20,000 bucks for the whole remanufactured front end there, which to me is insane. I couldn't even believe how much money was there, but oh, that seems pretty tight. Well, it's going. Huh. We're good. All right, cool. Yeah, we don't really want to turn that in a negative way. What's next? I got to get the other one. Here's this guy. You know, these guys here. There's only 4 of those. There better be 4 of them in there too, because I'll be pissed if there's not. You just kind of stuff everything in there. This is actually working out pretty good. Now, I'm doing this the quick and dirty way, and I'm sure there's going to be some people that are going to say you're doing that wrong. Well, let's put it this way. There's a lot of wear on this thing, right? This tractor is old. It's got a lot of wear. Are we close? Wow. I'm not liking that. Because if that's the case, I'm going to have to pull it back out again. It's not quite where it wants to be, where I want it. And it should be just fine. But I have to have a shim down in the bottom of that thing. And I've only put one shim in there. So maybe I'll take that out and put another shim in. It all has to fit in there together. And it can't be too tight, because if it's too tight, it generates heat. You know how it is. But I don't know. Let's see if we can get her in there. Oh yeah, it's going to go in. It's going to go in just fine. It's just not quite lined up is all. Probably going to go ahead and just let me shut this off, and then I'll get back to you when I get it in. All right, the best thing to do is to just get it lined up. And you want to line it up pretty good, because if you don't line it up correctly, you're going to have a problem. You just won't come out. So I had to take it back out again. The other thing is you really want to get this thing about as close to the center or close to where it needs to be before you go ahead and smack it in there. But here we go. See how easy that went? That went real easy. Nice. Okay. And that's going to be tight in there. It's just going to be tight in there because of the new clutch discs. That's why. And as they wear, they kind of, you know, they stretch out. So this isn't like a normal differential. It's not like your car. Your car doesn't have any of these clutch discs in it, unless you are running posi traction type rear, and then you know, then you got to deal with that stuff. But yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pop the rest of these in there. I got a mower going out right now, which is good. I think I got them all. We've got 5 of those things. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there another one? What am I missing? That's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do I only have 4? I should have 5 of those. Oh, this is going to aggravate me. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess there's only 4. All right, good. I thought there was 5. I don't want to screw up, you know. That's one thing you don't want to do, is screw up. Alright, so next thing on the list of things to do is to actually get this in and centered. I'm trying to get some work done. You know, I think I see what I did wrong. I didn't really do it wrong. My glasses aren't on. I mean, you don't have glasses. You get to my age and it's like, why didn't that fit on there quite right.com? Well, you get your glasses on, take a look. That one's in where it belongs. That one there is not where it belongs. Okay, no big deal here. We will smack you through. All right. I'm off just by a tiny little bit. It has nothing to do with anything other than you see there's these little ears. Well, they fit down in there. There's a little lip where they fit in. And if you don't have them where they're supposed to fit in, they won't fit in. Oop. So now I got that. Alright. Which I thought I had it, but I guess I hadn't. I got the other side just fine. Alright. There it is. You can't hear it, but I can. There's definitely enough. Hear that? There's play in there. Good. Good, good, and good. Now for the next one. These are the chewed up gears. I don't know if you saw those. They're not the end of the earth, but that's what was causing all the problem. So, we have to put in the other new ones. What do we do with it? Oh, here. So we can do this. Right. There's that. And I'm going to lubricate this guy here. Let me wipe it off real quick. Wait, you hear that ringing? I don't know what that was. You guys are getting an extra long video as I work my way through this thing. Took it apart about a week ago. It's Thursday, right? I did. Took it apart Thursday night, 1 week ago today. Which, you know, whatever, it's fine. Lubrication. Lubrication. You gotta have lubrication. There it is. Now, and there's these locker pins, right? You got these guys. These are locking pins. So what they do, quite simple. Kind of gotta drop those down in. And that's that. So that one's there. Okay. I'll get the last one, which is here. Going together quite nicely, thank you very much. I know there's going to be somebody say, oh yeah, when he goes to take that out, it's going to go crunch. And that'll be it because he doesn't have the proper tools. I've done these things before. Not this. I've never done a front end. I'll tell you that. This is a first for me. Never did the front wheel. Oh. There goes my washer. And as you're going to be saying, oh, he ruined it. I love all the negativity that I get on here. I love the positive comments, don't get me wrong. I love it. But you know what brings me more joy than anything is the negative ones. I really, really, really love it when people love to say, well, you voted for Trump, and you're going to get what you deserve. Okay. You know, that's fine. We did vote for Trump, and I'm kind of happy with him because he's made promises, and let's see if he keeps them, you know? It's like everybody wants instant results, instant gratification when it comes to politics and stuff. Well, politics don't work that way. I got a friend of mine. I can't say he's a close friend, but he's a good friend. I'm not really close to him. Like close as you can be to somebody from the internet. Let's put it that way. And he was all upset and worried that Donald Trump was going to take the Medicare away and take the Social Security away because he's retired. And I love him. He's a great guy. You know, I think he's great. But I told him here, it was when all this stuff was happening with the Medicaid. And, you know, of course, if you watch the lefty Democrat media, you'll know what I'm talking about. These guys, they're all like freaking out that, you know, Trump's going to destroy America. Well, I think we're on the right track now, personally. I also, and I'm going to touch on, see how easy that went together? Maybe it didn't. Did you see it? You're just hearing me yak, huh? So that pin, those locking pins, they go right down in here. I just dropped it right in so you can't see it. You hear that? It's good. It's not bound. That's the biggest thing, is to keep them from binding. You don't want this to bind. So now we pretty much have to do the exact opposite. And I'm a little bit more concerned with this side than I was on that side. Okay? And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why here in a second. I mean, I got a lot of money invested here. What you're looking at is over $2,000 in parts, right? Over $2,000 in parts for this. That's just the way it goes. So that sits right in there. Awesome. Okay. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to get all these parts ready to rock and roll because I'm about ready to just throw this thing together. And the nutty part of it, see how that goes? Yeah. There were 2 shims on the other one. And I'm going to show you what they look like. These shims were hammered. Debris got in here and caused a ruckus with it. So what I have to do is decide which 2 they were. I bought all the shims that I needed. Those are too thin, and that one's too thick. It's these 2 right here. It's these 2 right here. So what I'll do is I'll open you up. All right. Well, there's 2 of them in there. No. Somebody put the wrong number on that. There's only supposed to be 1. Shit. Okay, well, we can deal with that. Those 2 are the same thickness. That just make that an annoyance. No, there's 4 of them. That doesn't make any sense. It's too much. No, that's them. Okay. And the problem is it has annealed these things. I don't like that. Alright? It has annealed them. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So, these are probably going to be okay because they're just shims. They don't move. They are under pressure until you wear something out. But I'm not happy about that. I thought that that should have been a little bit. So those are really thin. Let's take those out. What do we got here? These are even thinner. So there's 4 of those. What do we got in here? Oh, I guess there was 4 of each. So, how much you want to bet that those, there was 2 of these thick ones in there. Oh, somebody sent me a text message. Cool. Good. Excellent. It was Kurt. Mr. Mucker. Okay. Well, let me pop this one here out. I'm going to take some of these back, right? Because there's no need. Here comes Tim. There was 2 of those. Definitely 2 of the thicker ones. Okay. I have a piece of plastic. That was stuck in my teeth. Yeah, hold on here. It's going to slowly drop. This piece of shit, I just bought it. I paid $30 for this stinking tripod, and it's broke. It's broke. It's broke. It's broke. And it goes like that. So what I should do is this. I should put it on like this, right? This goes in like this first. That first, then that. And this. 4 and 4. I just sent Grant to mow.
Where at?
Over on Pittstown Road and then next to my driveway. So it turns out that ground that you mowed over there, that I yelled at you for, on next to my driveway,
Yeah.
that bitch never paid, she paid for it but never subdivided it off, so it's technically, it's Phil's still. It's still Phil's ground.
Does it?
Yep, Phil says mow it, mine. She never subdivided it off, so it's still mine.
Okay.
So that's what's gonna happen. That needs to be mowed off. We'll mow it down, everything, even all the way down next to Horseshoe Bend. That woman's an asshole.
Is it?
She is, yeah, she's an asshole. That was all of them, right? 4 and 4? No, those are just shims. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, got 4 and 4. I'll take this guy here, and you do this. Okay. And that should just slide around in there. And it does. Now, to take this and set it on that. I wasn't happy, but we're just going to put these things together like that because that's what came out of there. So it should be exactly the same. I think we'll be just fine. Worst case scenario, it's not fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this worked out good. That was the way it's supposed to be there. So we'll do, I can't flip that one upside down. Now, let's get this in the right spot. There's the pins there. Oh, yeah. Let's move this over here. This stuff can go. This can go. Just a bunch of junk. Bits and pieces. Then we've got a pin there, and a pin there.
They don't fall out like that.
Oh, I missed. Shit. It's okay. It's okay. It did fall out, didn't it? We'll just put it back in. Like that. So let's do that a little better. It'll fall out again. Oh my God. It's only fingers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we get this turned in the right direction. Oh. Oh.
But
Well, the pinion is not part of that hub, right?
oh,
So there it is. Okay. Now the pinion's separate from the hub.
oh, so this is separate. From
Yeah.
this. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was all one piece.
No. Nope. I bet you could find that door at a junkyard someplace. Not local, but...
What would you call those doors? Crew cab?
Passenger doors. Yeah, passenger doors. All right. I'm going to go ahead and tighten them up now. Hold on. when I took these off, there was no pressure on them at all. It was like they were hand tightened. They wore, you know. Now it's going to be the fun. This is actually the easy part. Half doors, maybe they'd be called half doors. Not bad. Now we're going to have to figure out this. We're going to tighten them up. I should properly torque these, right? But that wouldn't drive anybody nuts, now would it? And the other thing is, you don't know what I do when I shut off this camera. Yeah, there's a lot of folks out there that think that I just don't know what I'm doing half the time. And I don't. I'll admit to it. Half the time I don't. But I will tell you this. I show you everything. Yeah, no. I show you a lot. But when it comes to certain things that take up a lot of time, I don't show you much. But anyway, I'm going to get a torque spec on this thing because these are a, what are they, 16 mil? It might be 18s. I don't remember now. 16 mil. I think they are 16 mil 10.2. 10.9 metric. Let me figure out my torque spec 'em.
Click part 2.
Part 2?
Part 2, yes, part 2.
Okay.